She can hear us. She can smell us.
Good morning, Vietnam!
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Film&Everything Podcast.
Yes, we're back today. We're going to talk some Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm here with Josh. Josh, if you can hear me, say hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Hopefully we sound good and crisp for you guys. We saw Sonic yesterday. We were, this movie was pretty anticipated for us just because, the first trailer came out. Sonic looked terrible. There was that big backlash on Sonic. He literally looked like the kid from Jumanji when he turns into the little wolf, or the monkey, whatever it is. And so the studio Paramount actually, and the director, what was his name? Jeffrey Law. Let me double check here. But he even came out on Twitter and said, you know what, guys, to the fans, like, we hear what you're saying. Jeff Fowler, that's his name. There we go. And he said, guys, we respect what you're saying, and they actually listen to the fans. Studios don't really do that. And they changed the whole redesign of Sonic, and he actually looks great now. And that actually convinced a lot of people to go and want to watch this movie, because when that first trailer came out, I mean, everybody was pretty much on the same page. Nobody wanted to see this movie. He looked like some sort of mutant hybrid animal, and not like Sonic. So that's the little, so this movie got delayed how many months? It was supposed to come out when? Like last year? Yeah, it got delayed like 6 months or something like that. It got delayed a good amount. And I did some research here. I mean, before we get into our review and what we thought, this movie has a $95 million budget. It's so far making, over this holiday weekend, speeds to 57 million debut over the holiday weekend, and I think it's right now at it's gonna gross 68 million over the 4-day President's Day holiday weekend. 68 million on a $95 million budget. Now the redesign for Sonic, that obviously costs money. From what I'm reading up here, they're saying it costs $5 million or less to redesign Sonic. That's what they're saying. I don't know how accurate that is. This is according to Screen Rant. Screen Rant is usually pretty good, right? They're pretty reliable.
Yeah.
They're always up to date with this stuff. They're saying it's costing like $5 million, because I guess there was a rumor saying it was going to be $35 million, but supposedly it's $5, which seems kind of cheap. But I mean, maybe he's already animated. Maybe they just have to tweak some colors, or fix the eyes, take away the teeth. He definitely looks a lot. Definitely looks a lot better. Because this movie, I don't know how it would have worked if it had been the original version. So with that being said, I'll just start off by saying I really loved this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I felt good. The character they were true to the source material. You know what I mean? It had the perfect amount of Easter eggs. I loved how simple the story was. They didn't try to go too big, too crazy. I actually thought Jim Carrey was a lot of fun in this. He could go. There are some scenes where I think he goes a little too long, but that's the whole point. It's supposed to be ridiculous. The movie's very aware of what it is. It's a kids movie at the end of the day, you know what I mean? And I think kids who are fans of Sonic are gonna love this. I mean, I loved it. I don't know how you felt about it, Josh. What did you think?
I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was fun. Like I didn't really think much of it. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna watch Sonic.
It was surprisingly funny, right? Like I caught myself in a couple of scenes.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I'm just glad they fixed him up, because he looked god awful before.
Yeah, throughout the movie, I was thinking to myself, this Sonic is so likable. You know what I mean? He felt cartoonish in a way. He felt like the true Sonic, and you were able to really just like love this character. And I was thinking of how would we see this movie if it had been the original version of what they had in mind, where where it was kind of like this weird hybrid looking realistic Sonic. I think we would have just found it creepy the whole time.
Yeah.
And with this redesign, I think it just gave the movie such a big boost. If it had been the other design, I think people would have been just kind of freaked out the whole time. He was kind of scary looking. And I'm
Was
gonna put up some pictures for our video on this review. Comparison pictures because it's a bit. I mean, he had teeth. He had like hands. He had no gloves. He didn't have the white gloves. This was just like if Sonic was in this real world, some sort of hybrid thing. I don't even know. And I wonder if they changed up the script in this, or if they kept the script and just redesigned them. I feel like maybe they just redesigned them because the movie itself is actually really good. The only
yeah.
thing that I would have had issues with that probably would have taken me away is if they had stuck with the original design. They didn't, because this design is great. I think he looks awesome. And um, I think if they were able to do a redesign, I think it's because they knew like, okay, they felt lucky enough that they were actually able to fix it, keep the movie the same exact way, everything the same way, and just change his look. Um, I'm sure if there was some, because there's not many scenes of Sonic physically touching a human or anything like that, and I think that helped them out a lot. Because if there was a lot more interaction between the humans and Sonic in the sense of, more difficult animation, I think they wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
And again, they don't want this movie to flop. And so far it hasn't flopped. It's doing really well. 65 million on a 95 million dollar budget, probably 100 million. Um, After the redesign, if that's true. It's at a 63% Rotten Tomatoes, and it's at a 94% audience score, which is amazing. I mean, the fans are loving it. And who would have thought, right? Who would have thought that the fans would like it? Because
Yes.
a year ago when they saw that first trailer, people were not having it. People weren't going to go watch the movie. And you see, like, there's an article here by Variety how the internet backlash helped Sonic the Hedgehog avoid box office disaster. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. I thought the movie was really funny. I liked the heart in it. It's a movie about him being alone and loneliness and all that. I think it's great for kids. Uh, and Sonic is really likable. And I actually liked what's his name? Do you know his name? He's in Westworld. The main actor who plays James Marston. Is that his name?
Yeah. It's something like that. I think.
James Marsden. Yeah, that's his name. James Marsden.
Teddy. He's Teddy in Westworld.
He's Teddy in Westworld. With the hat. I thought he was actually really funny in this. I thought he did really well. You know. And who voices Sonic in this is he's in
Ben
Parks and Rec.
Schwartz. Ben
Yeah,
Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz. Again, everybody, I loved Sonic. I thought James Marsden did really well as the main character, which, what was his name? As Tom. Tom was great. The movie's really funny. I really love this movie. I loved how it stayed true to what the source material is. You know what I mean? And we get to see Jim Carrey play Robotnik, and we kind of get to see him how he becomes, that villain. And there's definitely some great Easter eggs in this movie. There's a great end credits and mid credits scene after the
Yeah.
movie, which I loved it. I'm excited. I'm actually excited for what's to come for this. So far with video game movies, I mean, between Pokemon and this, it's looking good. The curse is kind of lifting off a little bit. I enjoyed this one. I think a little bit more than Pokemon. I think this one. I don't know about you, but I actually enjoyed this one a little bit more. I still had some issues with Pokemon. You know how I think it started a little rough, and the acting was a little rough in the beginning, and there was a lot going on in Pokemon. With this one, I liked how simple it was, small cast, just keeping it fun. This kind of like fun road trip movie. It's a great look. It's a great look for Paramount right now. And anything else you want to add there, Josh, about Sonic? Did you like it more than Pokemon, or what do you think?
Um, mm, I don't know if I liked it more than Pokemon. I don't know. I have to rewatch it.
You're more of a Pokemon fan too, so that might be
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
Uh,
But it was good. I liked it. Honestly, some moments where Jim Carrey goes a little too much, but no like big deal. I like how the movie was just small. They didn't do anything crazy with it. They didn't try to do too much.
yeah, because a lot of these movies nowadays they want to go big and epic, and this one's very simple, very grounded.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's kind of like this little road trip movie, and you actually really do care about the characters and Sonic. I think Sonic works great, and I think a big part of it is his new look. This is the look that we wanted, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, the movie was just I don't know. Like it was just really just well done. Like they did really good on it. Like
It
Sonic
felt
was
like
very
these
fun.
people cared about the character, you know?
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell.
You know, if it wasn't for that redesign issue, which again, maybe they just wanted to try a different route, and supposedly it was the company Sega. Sega, am I saying that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Or Saga, whatever. Supposedly they were the ones that were like, "Hey, you need to change this," you know,
Yeah,
to the,
they're the
you
ones
know,
that stepped
because
in.
again, the fans are what's gonna bring the money. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when you look at the Rotten Tomato meter, I'm looking at it here, 63% by 146 critics. Now, if you look at the audience score, 94% verified ratings, 8,641. It's a big difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People see that the fans love it. More fans are going to want to go see it. You know what I mean? I really appreciate. I love the fact that the studio listened to the fans, and it's working in their favor. Like they're making money. You know. Um, what would you rate this movie? What would be your rating for this?
Uh, I think a solid like 8.
Solid 3.
Solid 2. I think like an 8. I think like an 8. You know.
Like an 8.
Yeah. It's not like a masterpiece, but
Not a masterpiece. I think this should go to the Oscars.
it's an 8. Like it's a good film. Sit back,
Yeah.
relax, have fun.
Yeah, because that's I
It's a kids
actually
film.
caught myself. Yeah, for a kids film, I would say the same. I think it's like a solid 8 as a kids film. Obviously there's some scenes where I was like, okay, not so funny. The movie for the most part, I was in it. I was invested. I was laughing. Um, it has some good humor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know. How long is this movie? Because I didn't feel very long.
It's like an hour and 30. I think it's kind of literally like an hour and 30.
Let me
An hour
see.
35, maybe.
An hour. Let me see. Because, again, I love how they set up for a sequel, and I'm
Yeah.
actually excited. Um, for a sequel. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we could do a quick spoiler section just to talk about. It's an hour and 40 minutes. And we've seen some hour and 40 minutes movies where it feels like forever. You know what I mean?
Hustlers.
Yeah, hustlers basically. But this one went by fast, man. It went by fast. It was fun. Um, Jim Carrey was great. I think everybody was great in this. I was really surprised. I was really surprised.
Yeah.
It's definitely an 8 for me as well. I would say it's definitely an 8. Um, there's great teases for the future of these movies, and I honestly can't wait. If I mean, it's making money, so I think they are going to greenlight a sequel. That would be awesome to see. Honestly, it would be great to see because if they stick with the same writers, same everything, and really just keep at this, they could have a good little franchise here. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot they can get out of this, especially with the different worlds and all that with his rings and how he's able to go into different worlds and everything. They can really start exploring a lot in that universe.
Yeah.
Um, so what we'll do, and is there any final thoughts before we jump into a quick spoiler section? Because I do want to talk about the ending, like the
Uh,
mid credits and all that.
no. I think.
No, right? I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's a very
Yeah.
simple movie. I definitely recommend it, guys. Go and watch it. It's worth it. It's a lot of fun. If you're a Sonic fan, even more. Even if you're not, I think it's a fun kids movie. You know what I mean? But it's not too kiddish where you feel like, all right, I kind of want to get out of here. It's actually enjoyable. It made me laugh. I know it made us laugh. It made us laugh.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. You really like the Sonic character. He's likable. He's charismatic. He wasn't annoying. Because that could be an issue sometimes with these kids movies. And no, it was solid. I loved it, and I love Sonic. We've always played the Sonic games and all the characters and these type. It's very old school, and I love it. So definitely go check it out, guys. We're gonna go into a quick spoiler section just to kind of talk about the ending there. So if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. You can come right back. And if you don't really care about spoilers, stick around. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, we're going to go into spoilers right now. Okay. All right. So the spoiler section. I guess we should talk about first the uh, the ending. First of all, I love the character arc of how he actually gets like, his actual shoes from like like the game and everything, how he's
Yeah.
supposed to look. I love that little moment there. I thought that was great. Um, I didn't really think about it until it happened. I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah, like I think that was a great like moment. I think it paid off well. Um, I loved his whole like bucket list thing and how all the things he wanted to do, and it's kind of like Sonic is he's like a kid, It's him being a kid and just wanting to like do all these things and all that. Um, I loved him going super like them demonstrating his powers at the end. When he pushes Robotnik out into the portal, into the mushroom world and all that. Uh, I love how, it's a great setup for his story and his character, for the future movies. Um, I don't know too much about that mushroom world. I don't know how that works. Like, I don't know, again, I'm not too familiar with the source material, but I love the ending and how now we have a full, Dr. Eggman, Robotnik, with Jim Carrey. He had the full mustache. He shaved his head. He's going crazy now. Uh, him throwing the rock and everything.
Yeah.
Mushroom World. I loved all that. I love that. That's a perfect setup. Perfect setup. And then we got in the mid credits, Tails. Is it Tails? Yeah, Tails is the character's name. Another character in the Sonic
Yeah.
games in the Sonic universe. Perfect setup as well. I mean, he looked like amazing, and the voice was perfect. Everything was just nailed. That got me excited. I was like, oh man, because remember these characters when we played all these games, and now it makes you think, oh, now they can possibly bring in Shadow, Knuckles, you know what I mean? Like all these
Yeah.
different characters, and that's really exciting because I loved how they did the Sonic in this, and again, it's because of the redesign. I wonder if they maybe had to redesign Tails as well, in the mid credits because maybe they had that
Probably.
character also more realistic, and then they changed that as well after the backlash. Um, I don't know. Did you like the ending? Are you excited for like a sequel? What's
Yeah.
your
I want to see another one because now they can do this cool like universe with these characters now, which is pretty cool. So I definitely want to see a sequel. You know?
Yeah, because imagine, right? Imagine seeing Knuckles and Sonic and
Yeah.
Shadow all in the same movie. How like that would be so cool. You know what I mean? Especially Shadow. Shadow was always like my favorite playing all these games and stuff. And it's true what people are saying. They're saying how this can bring light back to Sonic again because they're saying how
Yeah.
Sonic kind of died out and all it was really known for was being in the Smash Bros and all that in Olympic Games. Now that this can really bring back Sonic in a big way.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. That's really exciting, because again, we don't get a lot of good video game movies. So, and now we're kind of like in this good streak right now. You know what I mean? Pokemon was really good. This one I think is actually even better. Um, and I don't know what's next. I don't know what's next. I mean, the next big one would probably be the Metal Gear movie, even though that's going to take some time. Uh, I don't know what else right now is in works. That's a video game adaptation, but definitely I would love to see more of these Sonic movies for sure. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Is there anything else that we didn't catch? Uh,
Mm,
no, I love the so the opening of the movie is basically like the ending, but I'm glad that the whole movie wasn't this big like kind of like Deadpool thing. Like him narrating every single thing. But I think
yeah.
they opened up the movie well. Then setbacks, showed his like little origin story, and just kind of led it right back to the ending. I thought the movie was well paced. I love the whole bar fight sequence, like that whole scene. I thought
Yeah.
that whole scene was a lot of fun. Him wanting to go into the bar and then, you know, Tom is like having a beer and they're hanging out, and then there's like a bar fight. And I thought all that was really really cool, and also how we get to see how fast he is in this movie. You know how he's able to like do all these things in a split second before they even make their move.
Yeah.
I thought that was really great as well. Uh, I love the ending again. I love the setup for the future. Is there anything else? Anything else that you wanted to like pinpoint out from the movie that now that we're in spoilers real quick?
Uh, Dr. Eggman, like how by the end he looks he looks really cool as the villain.
Yeah, he looks straight just like the games. Just like the game. That's really
Such a-
exciting. Yeah.
he looked like really
Um yeah, he did. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else. The ending was solid. Um The ending, let me see. Yeah, because like everybody was kind of nitpicking the whole like, oh, but couldn't he just run up the building and pick up the bag, But again, then like there wouldn't be a movie, you know what I mean? So you kind of have to like have some sort of. I like how they acknowledged it. Like he runs into the building, he's like, oh, it's locked. We need like a authorities in there, and then he kind of. I love the whole scene of him being like, yeah, I'm a cop. There's a man that's gonna like jump off the building or something.
cool.
Um, the humor's good in this. I was really surprised with the humor. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Tails jumping in this and that character. I think he was like looking for Sonic or something, and they're like
Yeah.
he was like tracking him down. So now I think that they set up the Sonic character. Now they're gonna bring him into this bigger universe of all the characters. So I think that's gonna be really exciting. That's gonna be really cool. Um, anything else? Anything else before we wrap it up? It's pretty simple. Not again, it's not much spoilers. Not like an Avengers Endgame or something. So uh, I'm trying to think. I love the actually like the title credits, like the end credits. It's kind of like the 2D Sonic game.
Yeah.
And
That was
as the
cool.
credits were rolling and everything, I thought that was great. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Is there anything else that we missed? Anything else that you liked in the movie that you wanted to kind of like call out on?
I thought like the robots were cool, like the car, like the tank and stuff, like the way they used it
Oh
was.
yeah, that whole action sequence with the tank and yeah, again, it was a cool action scene, but it was also funny because like it was started off with a tank, then kind of like a motorcycle, and then a drone, and then like a little bug. Like it just kept getting smaller and smaller. That was pretty funny. And again, I loved how they used. We got to see Sonic using his powers. When he rolls up to the ball and smashes into the things, and you know, I don't know. It was just really well done. Like it felt like a movie done for the fans. And I
Yeah.
really appreciate the fact that they actually redesigned it and fixed it for the fans after listening to them. I thought that was great as well. But yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else. Is there anything else? I don't think
No.
so. I don't think so. Yeah, guys, if you've seen the movie, what did you think? Feel free to comment. Let us know if you liked it or didn't like it, if you agree with us, or if there's anything that maybe we missed that we weren't talking about this movie. Um, we are going to do another episode very soon. Um, so stick around for that. I really wanted to give out this review because I think this movie deserves it. It's a lot of fun. So again, video game movies have been under this curse, and it's really refreshing to see that maybe that curse is starting to lift up a little bit and kind of we're starting to get something here. So I think that's great. More money. They get that sequel going, and let's get a Sonic universe going. I think that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to subscribe, comment, let us know what you think of the channel, anything you want us to add. So I am good. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. We'll have another episode out soon. So hope you enjoyed it, and goodbye.
Till next time.